Welcome back to Daily Glow. I have a new idea for a reading today, something a little bit different that we're going to do. Excuse me while I resituate my crystals. You can always skip right ahead to your reading using the timestamps that I will put in the description box. But if you want a little bit of an explanation, you can stick around. I was guided to do this reading by one of my spirit guides who told me to channel the flowers. And so I I inquired which flowers wanted to bring forward a message, and I will reveal them at the end of each reading. I have them here. These are flower essences. So I have chosen, well, they chose themselves, three flower essences, and then we have three corresponding runes. So go ahead and choose the flower. You can, without seeing or knowing what flower it is, you can still feel drawn to one of them, or you can choose according to the rune. Either way, whatever works for you. This rune is Rhaido, which is chariot, journey, movement forward, also natural rhythms. This second rune is Wunjo. Yes, that's happiness, pleasure, celebration, prosperity, belonging. And the third rune we have here today is Tiwaz, which is justice, honor, sacrifice, loyalty, victory. It's the warrior rune. Okay. So go ahead and choose. You actually may have messages in more than one pile, or you can choose, you can watch the whole reading, whatever speaks to you. Anyway, you can go ahead and jump forward to your pile, and I'll see you there. I don't edit out my readings, so I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for pile one. And I'm going to set this down so we can reveal that at the end. Okay. Welcome to your reading, pile one. If you chose pile one, this is your reading. If you chose Rhaido, Rhaido is the rune associated with journey, action, forward movement, the chariot. The decks that I'm using, I always list them in the description box if you're interested. And I have no idea what topic the flower will want to bring forward today. But we have Ace of Boons, which is Ace of Pentacles. So this could be about a material, something, yeah, it could be something to do with career, money, finances, belongings, house, home, something of a material nature. Let's see, it could be an opportunity. It's definitely a new beginning. That was a lot of energy. One moment. When they pop out all the way to the floor, that's a lot of energy. Okay. That's Five of Cups, which is loss. Is that Five of Cups or Five of Swords? Oh, yeah, it's Five of Cups. Five of Visions in this deck is Five of Cups. Yes, okay. So that's loss and mourning. Yeah, okay. Then we also have Page of Swords. No, that's Page of Wands. Sometimes I avoid this deck because I don't remember always exactly what they call the suits, but I like this deck. Okay, then we have, I think this is Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so that's Page of Wands, and here's Page of Swords. And Page of Pentacles. Mm. And the Enchanter's Wheel, that's the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so we started with the Ace of Pentacles, and then they're giving me a little backstory. This is basically about um, something that hasn't been moving forward, or something that you weren't sure how to move forward, or something that was moving forward very, very slowly to the point that you maybe weren't sure if it was moving forward or how it was moving forward. Yeah. The thing is that in your past, you're already coming from a context of having a lot of situations that haven't worked out. Then there's something that sparks excitement, optimism. Um, yeah, it's an opportunity. If there's like, yeah, there's hope enters the picture and you're working towards it, but things are developing so slowly. You kind of second guess yourself. Maybe you feel like you need to go back and gain more knowledge. You may need to go back to school, or you just need to rethink things heavily. Doubt starts to creep in and you're really not sure how to get to the next step. If you're doing this right, you're not sure if this is something that you even should pursue. So it's sort of like it's been a journey. Whatever this represents for you, it's been a journey, right? A journey. Okay. But it is moving forward, and it's showing the Wheel of Fortune in this deck shows the spiral wheel, that even though you may feel at times that you are going in circles, you are actually spiraling upwards. You are progressively climbing out of the situation. So there is movement. You have the upper hand in this situation. You've been you've been placed in a situations to sort of pull, like you've been sort of pulled away from others to some degree. You've been set apart to some degree to give you the opportunity to work on these things. And at times you may feel very alone, like you're fighting this fight all by yourself. Oh, but you're not. Look at the sunshine. Look at that. You have been brought into this place where you were sort of secluded to some degree. This may just be symbolic because it's increased the potency of your personal magic. They wanted you to reconnect with who you really are, with who you were when you were a child. They wanted you to reconnect with your original dreams and the things that you used to enjoy. The huntsman. What is the huntsman in this deck? One moment. I have to look that up. Look at this beautiful book. This is the Enchanted Forest Tarot, and it comes with this beautiful book that has these huge full color illustrations. Okay, so here's the huntsman. I feel like I'm reading you guys a bedtime story. A mighty huntsman stands with his bow and arrow at the ready, his hunting horn at his belt. Close beside him are a doe and her fawn. Closer than deer would normally approach, but the huntsman is not a mortal man. He is the embodiment of nature's justice. He defends the well-being of the forest and its creatures by protecting the vulnerable. This card is their version of the Justice card in the original tarot. The huntsman appears when something has upset the natural order of things. He can be called upon for help in a righteous and just cause, and he will tolerate neither deception nor deceit. What are your motives? Is your word to be trusted? He is assessing you, not condemning you yet. The law protects the innocent. Those who invoke the law must come from a place of righteousness and truth. Encountering the huntsman signifies that the balance of justice is in play, and you must be careful to obey the laws of nature and of humanity. Listen to your conscience as embodied by the huntsman and do the right thing. So, yes, the Justice card in tarot does represent karma and also patience as things are worked out in the correct way. So I would say that if you require justice in this situation, then that is coming, but also to maintain your integrity, do not look for shortcuts, because although you may feel that you're not making the progress that you want to make, you are making progress. And it's possible that, in fact, this is what I'm seeing, is that the wheel is turning in your favor, the wheel of fortune. You will feel that your luck is changing. Another way of looking at it is just that you've been on this positive upward spiral, and soon you will see more apparent results or benefits of what you've been working on. Okay. So, yeah, but let's see. And then, oh, okay. And then the last card, these are all just the cards that popped out. I'm still just reading the cards that popped out. And the last one was the Three of Visions, which is the Three of Cups, which is celebration. So look at that. That's an amazingly happy card. Um, so it's saying, to hang in there. It's been a journey. It has been a whole journey, but you are on the verge of having things turn in your favor, assuming that you've been, walking this path with integrity, that I believe that you have, then things are going to turn in your favor and there will be cause for celebration. Okay, I'm going to clear some of this and we're going to leave our rune card there. Thank you. Water. Okay. This is the Yin Yang Oracle. Self-love, attraction. Hmm. Haha. Your self-love has made you very attractive. That's interesting. Yeah, all of this work that you've put into yourself is making you very magnetic. So you could take this in a relationship sort of a way, like that you're attracted to other people. Certainly that could be what this is representing, but it can also mean that, as you've been focusing your intentions in the power of your creation, you are becoming very magnetic. Mm. Yeah, you've had the courage to make changes. Okay. So for some of my viewers, this is a twin flame reading. Okay, in this case, for those that this resonates with, and if it doesn't resonate, no, if it doesn't resonate, no worries, okay. But for those that this does resonate with, your courage to walk away and to just work on yourself, your self-love, it just is like your energy is turned up so much more now than it was, and it is pulling everything in towards you. If it is time for that to happen, then it is pulling in your twin flame. If it's time for that, I don't know if it is. Is there anything else from this deck? Okay, well, that's a lot. Okay, I'm not reading all that. But we do have self-care, so that sort of goes to self-love, self-care. You've really been working on yourself. We have memories and nostalgia, so that lines up with attraction. So somebody could be thinking about you nostalgically because your energy is sort of pulling on them. Yeah, it's a whole dynamic. Like when you pull away and then they pull in, I hate that, but let's see, guilt. Yeah, you may have felt guilty for walking away, or it's also possible that they feel guilty, that they sabotaged this to the point that you had to walk away. Yeah, that's what I think it's more of. And then this card sort of echoes the Three of Cups that we got from the Garden of Enchantment. Is that, no, it's the Forest of Enchantment. Forest of Enchantment. Tarot. This is celebration and abundance is coming in. Yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune too. And then what's that? That's the Ace of Pentacles. That's the first card that came out from the tarot. Ace of Earth, that's Ace of Pentacles. You really do have abundance coming in, and you are magnetizing to you on a material level so much. Like it kind of depends on what it is that you specifically want, but you are so magnetic right now, pile one. Like I can't even. You have been really honest in your self-expression. That's one of the things that's really moving energy. I think this movement of energy is moving you towards more freedom, but you've embraced your own freedom too. That's so important. Yeah. Reflection, projection. I don't know. I get the feeling like your counterpart is just really reflecting on what they've done. Maybe you have too, but I feel like you feel that you have pretty much a clean conscience, that you just walked away and did what you needed to do for yourself. Yeah, you may have built a family, built a home. You just did whatever you had to do to move on with your life. Interesting. Well, that's a pretty specific reading, and don't worry if it doesn't resonate, just take the parts that resonate, please. Anything else from this deck? Disharmony triggers conflict. That's going into the past. Yeah, somebody's in deep regret. That's sad. Solid foundation forming structure. Yeah, there's the Justice card again. And nurturing compassion. There's some kind of justice playing into this situation. It's strange, but I know this sounds strange and like counterintuitive almost, but this situation is actually forming a solid foundation. Sometimes you have to walk away from a timeline to protect that timeline. I don't know if that makes sense. Like sometimes if there's disharmony, you need to give something space so that you don't bring disharmony into that space. Does that make sense? And then you have to just let nature or the universe or whatever sort of work it out until it's prepared in such a way that there can be compassion in that situation. I don't know if any of that's making sense. But basically, this situation, regardless of what it looks like, is being worked out for the greater good, which is compassion. Yeah, and that allows everyone to be able to open to receive, depending on what that looks like and what that means. That's part of being open to receive, is that you're not going in with this sort of controlling, like this is what it's going to be and this is what it has to be. You're just like bringing yourself open, honest, and ready to receive the experience of life, not necessarily knowing what that will be. Yeah, there are other parties. Spring. We are still in spring until well, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, we're in spring until the summer solstice. So that's June 21st. But if you're not in the northern hemisphere, then it's possible that something will happen in the spring, the seed of something planted now. Yeah, the divine feminine is really stepping into her power. And she's just really magnetic right now. And that is bringing it, that's compassion, Ace of Water, compassion and overflowing love. Third eye, clarity. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know. That really went in a different direction than I was expecting. What? Let's say we'd bring forward whatever wanted to come through. Okay, now I want to pull some cards from Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle. I'm gonna have to find my book for this one. Where did I put it? Oh, I think it's up there. This one definitely has cards that I don't know yet. Really? Oh, there it is. Thank you for your patience. Guys, thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes, your comments. I love it. Really fun. And of course, if you have ideas for what you want to see in readings, like I'm just starting out, so I'm very open to suggestions. So let me know what kind of reading you want to see. Tell me what you like and don't like, okay? Nicely. I'm sensitive. Do we have any messages from this deck or no? Okay then. Hmm. Okay, the Topsy-Turvies, the Maiden. Hmm. And Nellis the Alchemist. Oh yeah, okay. So the situation has been chaotic and it hasn't necessarily made sense. It might have felt like everything was going wrong. Hmm. But actually everything is being alchemized. Everything is being alchemized. I know it doesn't make sense, but it just is. Hmm. The Maiden. Yeah, simplicity, curiosity, new beginnings, and growth. Yeah, this reminds me of that card that we had with the Six of Cups about getting in touch with your inner child. And then also all of those pages that came out before. This is about growing, like getting in touch with your inner child, growing yourself, growing your life. You've just really been pouring your energy into yourself. And look at how beautiful that is. Like this is Nellis, the alchemist, is like the maiden grown up. Look at that. Let me, let me show you that. Let me show you that. And that actually looks like me when I was a baby. Just saying. And look at that. She's all grown up. 27. Hmm. Mhm. Nellis points out a path that we can follow, the inner transformation that is required in order to achieve what we wish for the outer world. Personal interchange is the truest transformation of all. Sometimes things really can't move forward without readjustment, and sometimes that has to be radical realignment. Sometimes we feel that we should be able to bring our plans to fruition, but we may be aiming at the impossible or at least the very inappropriate. Part of the impossibility or the inappropriateness may be a result of our own attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors, and part of it may be circumstances in the world. There are things that are beyond our control. Just as changes in the outer world elicit inner transformation, of course, inner transformation helps us to achieve what we wish for in the outer world. Okay. Very cool. Thank you for those messages. Okay. And then, oh, yeah. Let's do Taurus. Taurus, since we're doing our message from the flowers, we'll use the Botanical Inspirations deck. Tuberose. Dangerous pleasure. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. When the tuberose was originally brought to Europe from South America and Asia in the 17th century, it was considered provocative for its fragrance and its voluptuous appearance, which was considered ostentatious and flashy. Marie Antoinette commanded her perfumers to create an alluring scent from the tuberose flower exclusively for her. And in 19th century Russia, the tuberose flower was forbidden to anyone outside of the imperial court. In Malaysia, the tuberose is known as the mistress of the night. There are times to be restrained, and there are moments when your wild, sensual side yearns to be expressed. If you never take risks and allow yourself a dangerous pleasure, you will never discover your own true colors. Okay, and then I'm going to end this reading with a message from the Enchanted Art Oracle cards, and then we will reveal your flower essence. That was fast. Follow what lights you up. Listen to your dreams. You are getting messages in your dreams. Don't ignore them. Listen to the still small voice within. You guys, oh my God. This is look, this is the clearest message I've ever seen. Listen to your dreams. Listen to that still small voice within, your own intuition, and follow what lights you up. No, you guys ready for the reveal? Your flower essence is agrimony. Agrimony is a flower essence that helps balance the spiritual energies of people who feel like they always have to put on a happy face, people who are not really being authentic about how they really feel. they feel like they always have to put on a brave face, a happy face. They always have to hide their sorrows behind laughter and smiles. Okay. So you can find agrimony flower essence if you feel drawn to that or if that connects with you. And that helps to recenter your energies if that feels like something that, that you would connect with. Okay. Thank you so much for watching pile one. And if you feel drawn to watch another pile, then I'll see you there. Oh, you know what? No. Wait, I want to do one more thing. I haven't used these in a while, so I do want to pull these out. Okay, we'll do this as confirmation for those that want it. There we go. And let's do our astrology dice too. You guys can totally ignore this if it doesn't speak to you. But some people kind of have fun with it, so. And guys, I am like always and forever going to miss so many names, so I'm sorry, like right off the bat. But if you see it, claim it, you know what I mean? Okay. We have OUSRIVCDJ and A. And I'm also hearing Rivka and Carla. Drake. Susan. Okay. There's a lot more names there. So if you see your name, great. Awesome. We have Saturn, Libra, and 10. 10 can mean the 10th day. It can be an October birthday. It can mean something to do with your career. It can also mean an ending or conclusion of something. You could be a Libra. The person that you are thinking about could be a Libra. Also, something could happen in September or October. Okay, we do have 10 and we have Libra. So September, October, that's Libra season. And Saturn, somebody could be going through their Saturn return. Or somebody could be a Capricorn. Yeah, 10th house is also associated with Capricorn. And Saturn is also associated with work too. Okay. Okay. Thank you, pile one. Feel free to watch another pile if you want to. Otherwise, thank you so much. If you like this reading, I love it if you hit the like button. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you. All right, I don't edit my videos, so I'm just gonna get ready for pile two. The flashing light, I don't know if that shows up, if you guys can see that. That is from the light sort of flickering through the fan, but I think it looks cool. Welcome, pile two. If you chose the Wunjo rune, this is your pile. So Wunjo represents celebration, prosperity. What else? Kindred, belonging, pleasure, joy. Wunjo is a great rune. Let's see, where should we start? Let's start with the tarot. How are you doing today, pile two? Hope you're doing great. Thank you. The fairy wind. Eight of spells. The weaver of visions. and the keeper of spells. Hmm. There's something that you cared about very much that is going through a big change. This could have to do with your family, home, or a relationship. It could be either a parent-child. It could be a relationship you have with a child, with your mother, or it can be a partnership. You know that things are changing. You may have recently come into some new information or clarity, but things are going to continue to change even more. It's possible someone is leaving. But it's bringing in healing, or there's healing coming. Something also that's wish fulfillment, something you wished for is coming in. When they fall on the floor, that's extra energy. The Four of Challenges, that's healing. Hmm. Somebody may be leaving your life. Alternatively, if you are alone and have been alone, then someone is coming in. Let me get some clarity on that. Yeah, this is time apart and alone so that you can take the time to rest, rejuvenate, and heal. Yeah, that's reunion. When I say reunion, that doesn't necessarily mean with someone that you were with before. Okay, people get all upset. They're like, I don't want to be with my ex. You don't have to be with your ex. Um, Reunion in the sense that um, on a spiritual level, there's like time doesn't really exist. And so it's like you were always together. I don't know if that makes any sense. Reunion in the sense of coming home to where you belong spiritually. Yes, that's what I mean. And the Green Mother is the divine feminine archetype, the Empress in this deck. Hmm. She's sort of one of the next levels of the Queen of Cups. We have here the Queen of Cups. So it's possible that even though you feel like you might be losing something that you were trying to hold on to, or you might be worried about something, some situation, but it's actually going to be so much better. It's actually through all of the changes, there's going to be so much healing and joy. And also I see prosperity too, and wish fulfillment. This is going to be so good. Yes, prosperity. Hmm. You could have someone coming in, literally a person coming in. Hmm. Someone could be coming in to fight for you. And when I say fight, I mean just to put in the effort that you deserve. Forge. What is the forge in this deck? Where did I put my book? There it is. The forge is 14. Oh, temperance, balance. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, something's being worked out. Something is being tempered and worked and shaped and then heated again and cooled again. This is just like the original traditional tarot card of temperance shows the angel pouring from two cups, a little of this one, a little of that one, and then a little more of this one, and they're trying to find a balance. Sometimes it takes time to work something out so that it's just right. Okay. See if we have messages in the Yin Yang Oracle. Abundance and gratitude. When you pull your energy back into the present moment instead of projecting it out to someone else, something else, somewhere else, some other time and space, you pull all of your energy back into the present moment. That's why meditation can be so powerful. And then you transcend because it brings you into unity with everything. Yeah, it's bringing freedom into your life. You're pulling your energy back into yourself. As you increase your sense of personal value, your realization of how much you're really worth and how great you really are, not because of things that you've done or some kind of way that you look or something that you own or something that you've achieved, but because you understand your inherent intrinsic value that you have now and have always had. And you're also growing your self-esteem through taking actions that you can feel proud of, actions that you feel reflect your values. It's changing the nature of your expectations, which naturally changes what's showing up for you in your life. You have incredible clarity now. Yeah, and a different perspective. You've let go of a lot of things that used to be important to you, and that's allowed you to make difficult decisions. Yeah, that clarity and that strength um, is really setting you up for the freedom to have the kind of life that you want to have, whatever that is for you. Okay, and that's it for that deck. Thank you. Hmm. This is the Botanical Inspirations deck. Hmm. Thank you. And the tulip is for prosperity, friendship, and gratitude. Gratitude's come out twice. I'm not going to use that card because that was from the last reading. Let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. Yeah, your friends have been really an asset to you. Just realizing and focusing on all the good that you do have is really moving you forward. Yeah, that's again about being present in the moment and drawing your energy back into the present moment and back into yourself instead of dissipating your energy through escapism. Anything else from this deck? Anything else from this deck for pile two? Thank you. Yeah, the yellow rose is also associated with friendship. A single rose can be my garden, a single friend, my whole world. That's interesting. I inserted the word whole myself. It's not in the quote. I don't know why I said that. No friend should be your whole world, but I think the reason that that came out like that is that your whole world can be completely complete, really, can be completely complete with just the friends that you have now. I think I'm picking up on an energy for somebody watching this group that in the past you may have been overly fixated on the idea of gaining a certain kind of romance or relationship or something like that. And you're learning to be content with the life that you have now and appreciate your friends in a new and different way. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's helping you to pull your energy back into yourself and be present, which is energetically really powerful. It's also possible that your friends are helping you to move forward and make good decisions. Yeah, I think for somebody, your friends are really helping you ascend. And that's amazing. Okay. This is Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle. The fairy guide. I think that's it. Okay. Fairy guide. This Oracle deck comes with this big book. Thank you for your patience. Oh, well done. Okay, there it is. The zero card, the guide, direct communication with the other side. This card has been left blank for you to draw your own fairy guide on. Some people may have a clear mental image of their personal guide. Okay, pile two, your own spirit guide may be coming through for somebody. You know who that is. By drawing on your own guides, you can personalize and attune the deck, connecting the energy of the cards and fairies with your own energy. Interesting. So this card coming through right now means that your spirit guides are trying to get a hold of you or trying to get your attention, and they have a message for you. So you need to connect with your own spirit guides or spirit guide, whoever that is or whatever that is. Okay, what is going on here? Um, okay, and then let's see, we're going to, there we go. I'm going to grab an enchanted oracle card. Pile two. Thank you. Aw, celebrate the little things in everyday life. This is again about gratitude and really realizing what you have around you now, and also enjoying time with friends. And then I noticed the card on the bottom of the deck, so I'm going to take that one too. And it says knowledge and learning empower you. So yeah, somebody is really working with either a spirit guide and or a spiritual path that you're on. So yes, that's definitely a helpful energy, but also foundationally, it's most important to keep centered in the moment that you're in. Okay, then let's do some, thank you. Oh, I have one fall out already. This is V. Okay, let's do some initials. We have V, C. I heard Violet, Faith, Nikki. Another V, so definitely strongly on the V thing, like V names. Could be somebody's last name initial too. And then D and E. We have Dee Dee, Dean, Fern. Yep, Dean. Mean. Somebody was mean. Dennis, Katie, Veronica, Hannah, William. Okay. Well, if you see your initials or your person's initials, or if you see one of the many, many names that I missed, then go ahead and take it. And let's do the astrology dice. Uranus, yeah. Wait, is that Uranus or Pluto? Is that Uranus or Pluto? And Taurus? No, I think that's Uranus. Where's Pluto? That's Uranus. Okay, this is Pluto. Okay. So a couple of things. First of all, we do have Uranus in Taurus right now. And we have, I think, is it Uranus conjunct the sun in Taurus like today? That's a really, and it's conjunct Algol too, which is like, well, you can look that up if you want to. It's a very intense energy, so let's just say that. And I know this is Pluto, this is not Uranus, but at first I was like, is that Uranus? And we do have Uranus in Taurus, and that is relevant right now. Also, Pluto just went retrograde, maybe last month actually, but Pluto's going to be retrograde for most of the rest of this year until I think like October or something. Those are kind of intense energies. So if if you've really been feeling affected by some of the intense energies that are going around, 3 refers to thoughts in the mental state, then just know these transits of energy, they don't last forever, okay? They just cycle through. That's what they do. And they bring up intense stuff for us to alchemize, and we alchemize it, and then we move on. Okay, so I know when you're having intense feelings and emotions, it feels like perhaps in that moment it feels like forever. In that moment it feels like forever, but it's not. It will pass, and it does, and you can let it go. Also somebody may have life path 3, somebody may have a March birthday. And for some this signals communication because 3 signals communication. Okay. And it could be a very oh my gosh, transformative. What's the word that I'm looking for? Alchemizing, transformative, communication. I don't know. I can't think of the word that I want. Let's reveal your flower essence pile 2. It's gorse. So the gorse flower essence is for people who are feeling very, very low, very defeated, and feel that they have lost hope and feel like a situation is just never going to turn around. It's impossible. They can't possibly see a way out of it. And it's okay if you feel like that sometimes, or a lot of the time. You don't have to feel ashamed for feeling that way. If you do resonate with that, either as a way that you've been feeling a lot, or perhaps just a passing sort of feeling or thought that has come up during some of these intense energy transits, you might benefit from this flower essence, or you can benefit from any number of spiritual practices, whatever resonates with you. But gorse is a flower essence that you can purchase pretty much anywhere, online or in a natural food co-op kind of a store or someplace like that, they'll have the Bach flower essences. So it's just something that you can consider trying that. It just works on your subtle energies. It just helps you on like an aura level. Okay. Um, okay, thank you so much, pile two. Please remember, yes, gorse is the flower essence that came out for you, but it brought the message of Wunjo. Okay, so even though things may seem really dark right now, or may recently have seemed really dark, you have incredible joy and prosperity that is available to you. Okay, so you can tap into that, and that's coming for you. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Okay. And then I don't edit out my in-between sections of my videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for pile three. I have no idea why I feel like I'm losing my voice, but that could be relevant for some reason. Okay. There we go. Let's do let's do this. Oh, I know. Yeah, we're just gonna clear the energy just a little bit. And then, ouch, clicking my finger. Mm, I feel like I'm forgetting something. All right, well, whatever. Welcome, pile three. If you chose the Tiwaz rune and the third flower essence, this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's see. Tiwaz is the warrior rune. It represents honor, sacrifice, justice, loyalty, and victory. It's it's very much like the so-called masculine energy, which, obviously we all have all energies within us, masculine, feminine, and whatever. Let's see what message your flower essence wants to bring forward for you today. Pile three, suspension. Okay, that's the Hanged Man. Wow, that's sacrifice. So sacrifice is one of the meanings of Tiwaz, and so this is sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice? This is a release of ego that brings awakening, spiritual awakening, and a new perspective. The Hermit. Okay. You are really yeah, you're going through a spiritual awakening, or you have been through one. You've really been brought apart, taken apart. I don't mean taken apart. I mean, you've sort of been removed from whatever scene you were in before, whatever place you may have been in before. You've kind of been secluded a bit so that you could go through this awakening process. That's a common part of awakening, is that people find that they're really being separated from a lot of people around the time that they're going through an awakening. And you can go through more than one awakening. Thank God when it happens in layers, because it's a lot. Okay. Okay. Nine of Wands. Yeah. Okay. You may have some messages in pile one, because the Hermit and Nine of Wands, I mean, it was a different message, but the Hermit and Nine of Wands came out also for pile one. And there can be sort of a loneliness or a feeling like you're waiting for something that never shows up. Like you've just been fighting this battle by yourself for so long. And it's like, where are my people? Temperance. Yeah. The Forge came out in pile two, for what it's worth. Yeah, something's been being worked out, and also you yourself are being prepared, changed, transformed, alchemized, and readied. You're going through a process. Hmm. There's gonna there's gonna be some sort of exciting new opportunity coming into your life. Also, I think that you are wanting that. Yeah, you felt trapped. Hmm. You felt trapped, so they want you to know that there is going to be an exciting new opportunity coming into your life. And and I think this is 13. Um, I don't know which one this is. Oh, that's gotta be like the devil. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. So the Black Shuck card here. Isn't this a beautiful book? The Enchanted Forest Tarot book. Of the otherworldly beings that dwell in the woods, few are as fearsome as the Black Shuck, for he is a portent of death. Is your heart beating a little faster now? He is one of the spectral hounds who roam the earth, haunting the bleakest moors and the darkest forests. You may have heard him clawing and whining at your very door. Now he meets you among the gravestones, illuminated by lightning flashes. Don't worry, he won't harm you. Black Shuck comes not to take your life, but as a memento mori, a reminder that death awaits you and life is not to be wasted. Look into his fiery eyes. Let him know you understand his message. If you have the courage, extend a cautious hand and feel his cold breath. He knows your scent and he will find you again. When he appears, take it as a sign that you need to prioritize what is important to you and release what no longer serves you. Wow, that was intense. Okay. Okay. So I see this now. So also this means that you have been feeling very stuck, but this was before you went through your awakening process and gained a new perspective. Now you are reconnecting with your passions and pleasures in life, and you're being called to focus on what's important and to live your life while you're still alive. Like really live your life, like really do the things that you want to do and live with joy and passion. Any other messages from this deck for pile 3? No? Okay, thank you. Healing the inner child, healing the inner child. Yes, you've been healing the inner child, balance, karma, justice, forming stronger. Oh, no. Yes, so you've been going through a process of healing your inner child, and you are transmuting a lot of stuff, whether you want to call that karma or whatever you want to call that. You've been transmuting and alchemizing a lot of energy, and you've been forming a solid foundation for the next chapter of your life. Mm. You may be taking back control of your life from things and people that made you feel very disempowered. You may have, you may be, yeah, you may be healing from a childhood that was extremely controlling, but you're remembering who you really are. You're remembering who you really are. Yeah, you've been going through an awakening process. And it may not be your first awakening, but it's another level. Yeah, and you've been being assisted by your spirit guides. You have so much help on the other side. Yeah, especially as you've been tuning into self-care. You've been healing yourself and your inner child. And that's really changing the energy. Even if you have not seen the results yet, or perhaps you've not seen as much results as you would like, but you are being renewed. Look, your energy is coming alive again. I heard she's back. She's back. Yeah, you've got your spark back. Okay, thank you. So the botanical inspirations cards. Daffodil, rebirth and new beginnings. Yes, you've been reborn. You are being reborn and transformed. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Snapdragon, graciousness and benevolence. Interesting. What is meant by this card? Yeah, your spirit guides are going to help you. They're helping you. Yeah, you're getting sort of a helping hand here of some kind. I also feel like your kindness is coming back to you. And then also, it's not on this card, but Snapdragon also is a flower associated with communication. So, you're definitely coming into an ability to communicate with your spirit guides. That may be part of your awakening process, is that your own intuitive or psychic powers of some kind may be coming online. You may be coming online as a claircognizant, clairvoyant, clairaudient, or whatever your gifts are. You For some of you, you also may have someone coming in, like a partner coming in, or new friends. So it could be people coming in to your life, or a person. You could be getting communication with somebody who you've been wanting to communicate with. But I also feel that sort of karmically, the good that you've done is coming back to you. Yeah. Your helpers on the other side, like, they see it. Yeah, and they're going to help you. Okay. Let's get a Brian Froud Fairy Oracle card. Hmm. I'm not familiar with that one. Ike the Iomancer. Okay, and then we have Lesty, the Fairies of the Future. I'm taking right now. Lesty is the Moon's daughter. Okay. Mick looks like Ike. I was trying to figure out if that was an M or an A. It's an M. Okay, Mike's a Myomancer. It says messages are everywhere. It's also a card for patience. You got to look for the hidden information and the patterns that you see around you. Um, You can learn endless things by paying attention and reading the past, present, and potential of all beings in the movements and details that you see around you. Little things can tell us a lot. Everything bears a message about the universe around us. Interesting. So there's a message about paying attention and kind of being present in the moment. And then let's look up Lesti, daughter of the moon. Illumination and riddles. There may be some sort of riddle that you need to work out by paying attention to the signs of nature and also potentially signs and synchronicities that are being sent to you. In the process of guiding us, Lesti may pull a veil of clouds across the face of her mother, the moon, and 3 steps later we fall into a bog. Well, that should wake you up, she thinks, smiling wisely. She disapproves of sleepwalking, which is something that most of us humans do a lot of the time. The night contains too much magic and beauty and wisdom to walk through it unseeing, okay? And Mike, the myometer, is about paying attention, okay? And Lesti is about using the dark to wake you up. How you take this is entirely up to you, but these pitfalls and annoyances have been intended to wake you up. That's the message here. And it is always your choice. The fairies of the future. Be here now, guidance and moving forward. The gnome at the top of the card, you see the gnome at the top of the card right there, looks both ways simultaneously, something that would give a human a crick in the brain if he tried it. However, the gnome has no particular problem with this because fairies always have a sense of past, present, and future. For all of the fairies bold stepping forward, if you look closely, you can see that she has her eyes on the wise gnome king at the lower left. He seems sure of the way to go. He is relying on his gut sense to guide him, knowing that this is his magic and it will serve him better than logic in the unknown future. Being a gnome, a son of the earth, he is well grounded in reality, which is what it takes to have trustworthy gut feelings. And this fairy being wise, or nearly so, trusts him in this. Of course, she hasn't considered that where he wants to go may not be where she would most like to go. Fortunately, he has considered that and is pointing her in the right direction. These are the fairies of a bright future and are essential companions on any journey as you move forward. When this card appears, it is time to consider where you have been and where you wish to go. There are many opportunities, many potentials, but you have to choose the path that you want and then take realistic and practical steps to bring that desired future into being. This is not a time to wait for the things to come to you, but to step forward boldly to meet them. You can do it alone if you wish, or in the company of those who share your goals and dreams. Oh, that's a great message. Thank you for your patience in letting me read those messages. Okay, and then let's pull some. Oh, we'll get an enchanted art oracle card, and then let's pull some initials. Initials. Let's get some initials. Mm. Okay. This is the Enchanted Art Oracle cards by Mimi Pettibone. I got these on Etsy. Thank you. Listen to your inner music. Also, some of you are getting messages through music. Your spirit sparkles when you connect with what you love. Yeah. So pay attention to the effect energetically that things have on you. Okay. Um, yeah. Just pay attention to what lights you up and, what makes you feel alive. And pay attention and prioritize your own sparkle. Prioritize what lights you up. Yeah, lovely. Okay. These are just for confirmation, the initials. So if your initials don't come through, it doesn't mean that the reading isn't for you. Okay. We have Bay, Ray, Bryce, Yuri. I heard Roger, Faye, Sarah, Rose. I'm sure there's a lot more names here. So if you see your name, Chris, Priscilla. Okay. If you see your name here, just go ahead and take it, or your initials, or the person that you're thinking about, or whatever. Okay. And let's get an astrology. Let's use the astrology dice. Leo, 9, and Neptune. So Neptune is also associated with the Hanged Man, or that was one of those first cards that came through, that one. Suspension, the Hanged Man. Yeah. Neptune makes clear to us through things that are initially very confusing. So things like dreams and visions and messages that come through songs and poetry, and all of those things can be very confusing at first. But ultimately, if you sort of surrender to it, it brings you to a much greater clarity and a new perspective. Somebody could be a Leo, somebody could have Leo placements. Somebody may live at a distance. Some cycle or something may be closing out. Something may happen during Leo season, which is July and August. And there's definitely something about loss, overcoming the ego and becoming more purposeful and conscious instead of reactive and like reacting from triggers and stuff. Oh, somebody could be a Pisces. Somebody could be a Sagittarius. Okay. And okay, let's reveal your flower essence. Your flower essence is Impatience, which is a flower essence which supports the energy of exactly what you would think that it does, which is patience. Okay, so when you feel like something isn't happening or you feel like things aren't happening fast enough, this is a flower essence that supports the energetic state that makes you feel like that. And so it helps to empower your energy again. I've used this flower essence a lot in my life. I don't mind saying that. And so if this is something that speaks to you, you can find these at pretty much any these Bach flower essences at pretty much any health food store, or you can also purchase them online. Okay. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, Pile 3. I hope that this message was helpful to you. And if it was, I love it when you like the video. But anyway, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye.